White Salmon is a beautiful town. It's connected to Bingen, and between the two towns, it's actually based off of a small Germanic town. I was active in the U.S. Army, and I served for 10 years. Well, the current connectivity just in the actual city of White Salmon is not where it should be. It definitely glitches a lot. Out in my area where I live is actually even worse. You just don't have the speed like you should.
This area is a haven for veterans. We've got a disproportionate number of veterans in this area because it's the place they want to live. If they're in the VA system and they're trying to talk to their doctors, they have some difficulty because the connectivity doesn't allow them, because some of the areas away from here are a little bit more challenging than White Salmon itself. You just don't realize how much easier your life would be if you did have that capability.
I served 7 years. I served from 2007 to 2014 in the United States Marine Corps. Deployed in 2010. I would get 3 megabytes per second, possibly up to 10. I wish it was easier for me to get internet service out this way.
I am a veteran, U.S. Marine Corps. We just don't see competition moving into the area. There has been zero upgrade or difference or improvement in our service. In fact, it's more challenging now, it seems like.
I was in the Army. I went in 1967 on the buddy plan. Well, we don't have the options to have various companies, so we can get a good price and very small quality, like living in a city. Why should we be treated different?
Have you ever not been able to do something because you didn't have internet?
I understand you want to do college, but we need the internet for you to do that. Because if not, you're traveling back an hour and a half, 2 hours just to the Yakima Valley to go back to school.
I homeschooled our 3 kids, all of them up through about 6th grade. We faced internet challenges trying to homeschool.
It doesn't read QR codes. It doesn't pick up any of those things that you need to get their standard discount, so I feel discriminated against.
When you lose the internet and not being able to help, somebody that walks in and they're just wanting a birth certificate, then, okay, guess what? I can't help you right now, my internet's down. And they need that birth certificate for a passport or for just legal purposes. So that then not only stops my job, but it stops their job as well with trying to process what they need to get done.
That's the frustrating part, because we know it exists here in the United States. When you go to other countries, like, okay, they're light years away from this happening, but we know it exists. It's capable of being here. For some reason, it just hasn't reached these areas yet.
I just hope that we don't wait 6, 7, 8 years down the road just to be able to use our internet access that we've now had access to for how many years.